G'day, my name is David, and today I wanted to share with you my 5 additives that I add to my garden every winter in preparation for summer. I always get asked, what do I do? What do I put in my garden to prep it for spring? I love growing tomatoes and eggplants and zucchinis. Tomatoes and eggplants in particular are pretty heavy feeders, so you need to put a lot into the soil in order to prep it before you put them in, particularly if you put in the same crops in the same bed every year. So today I want to share my 5 things that I put in to my soil. So it's end of July here in Australia, it's winter, and September will come around and that'll be the start of spring for us here in Melbourne. But before then, I like to come along and add 5 things. The 5 things that I add are, firstly, you can see it's pale, beige coloured material is blood and bone. Come through and put a liberal spread of blood and bone. So I've got 2 beds which I've prepped here. One is about 15 metres by 1 metre across, and the other over there is 6 or 7 metres by 1 metre across. So I go across and put blood and bone. That's the first one. The second one is this dark coloured material here. It's actually coffee grounds. I get coffee at the office there. Coffee people come around with a van and coffee, and they give us the bags of leftover coffee that's been used, and we put that down. That gives the ground some good organic matter, helps build up the structure in the soil. It also helps with moisture absorption when you get that hydrophobic soil here when it gets really dry. So that's the second thing that's in there. The third is this fella here, horse manure. Down the road, we've got some stables. The horses there are just basically pets. They're not given anything that would come out in any chemicals that would come out or be negative for me and our crops. That's good organic horse manure. There's also a lot of with that horse manure comes a lot of shavings of timber they use as bedding. So that's, again, more organic matter and fibre we put into the ground. So that's the third thing, horse manure. The fourth thing that we put in there is, you can see this pale coloured material. It's actually ash from a burn pile that we have. It's been wet, it's been raining the last couple of days. So I'll go through and do my Jackson Pollock and put down ash. Ash is full of, you'd be probably familiar with potash. I talk about potash. Ash is great for cell structure of your plants. Adds a sweetness to crops, things like your tomatoes, and that it just adds extra flavor, helps give extra flavour. The plants access the nutrients from it. So the fourth thing is ash, and then the fifth thing, you can see these little blue dots, and that's a granular fertiliser here in Australia. I bought it from a rural shop. It's called Prolific Blue. It comes in a 25 kilo bag. It's a Barmac product, and that just gives a good round mix of NPK to the soil. So they're the 5 things: blood and bone, coffee grounds, horse manure, ash, and a soluble granular fertiliser, Prolific Blue. There is one other 6th thing that I'll add in a few weeks' time, is some chicken manure. So they're my 5 hot things that I put in here. I'll mix that into the soil and I'll let it rest then for 6 to 8 weeks before I even think about planting anything in here, and the plants will just leap out of the ground. There you go, hope you enjoyed.